Next biggest game of the weekend, we're going to roll to Alabama on the road to Florida. Now, I made a couple of jokes on Twitter. Look, if you want to hit me up on Twitter, I'm at Chris Giannini. You can find me out there. My DMs are always open, so you can send me anything you want. If you got a question, you want to say something to me, whatever. Some people say some harsh, mean things. Hurts my feelings. I cry myself to sleep every now and then. But I'll tell you this. The internet's not as mean of a place as it used to be. You guys are pretty nice, and I'm grateful for that. If you want to ask about a game or ask me an opinion about something that I didn't hit or get me to clarify on something, you don't have to put it out into the ethos for everyone. You can just send it directly to me, or you can put it in the ethos to everyone, and I'll either way, I'll answer it. I don't care. Alabama at Auburn. At Florida. I made some jokes about Alabama basically playing the schools of the deaf, blind, and dumb. I don't know what kind of voodoo or wizardry Bama does with their schedule. They always schedule these top 10 schools for the first game of the season at a neutral site field. They always do it. And every time that team is the worst that team has been in 10 years. Okay? Happened to Florida State. Happened now. Like, it always, this team is supposed to be good when we make the schedule. But they make the schedule like a decade out. And then by the time Bama plays them, that team is just complete trash. Everybody thought this was the year Miami was going to be good and this was supposed to be a competitive game. It was terrible. And then Alabama just beats the hell out of Mercer. Like, you can't take anything from that game. Saban was pissed off and angry because they didn't beat him bad enough. And I get that, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay? So I don't know that you could take anything away from what Bama's done. And I crap on Miami because Miami should have lost to App State. I just don't think they're very good. I don't know what happened to De'Aaron King, not DeAndre. And man, I thought they were going to be good on offense. I trust that their defense is going to get better over the year. This is not about Miami. This is about Bama. This is about Florida. Florida's beat up on a couple of also-rans. They didn't beat the FCS school the way they should have beaten them. It happens. They did beat up South Florida that bad. South Florida's just not a good football team. I'm excited to see this game. I think this is going to be a good test for both teams because, like I said, I understand Bama's supposed to be a lot better than them, all right? Bama has all the best players. They have all the best coaches, and there's no reason Bama shouldn't beat the hell out of them. I thought this line would open up around 14, maybe, 12 to 13. That's kind of the world I was kind of living in. Man, 16 by Bama. I guess no number is big enough, right? Like if it opened at 21, would anybody say, "Oh, that's too much"? Like I just don't know what you make a number if you're a book to get people to bet the other way against Bama. I will tell you this. I think it's a few too many points. I do. I'm not opposed or afraid. You guys have seen me if you've watched over the years. I'm not afraid of stepping in front of these big teams, all right? Now, I get my ass rolled over a lot, okay? It happens. But in the case of Oregon, like, you win some of them, all right? And I like betting dogs. If you know me, I think there's one thing in this world that I'm allergic to, and that's just chalk. I'm never going to be boring, and I'm never just going to give you the right answer because I think that's boring. And I'm not trying to play the antagonist. I'm not trying to play the other side just for shits and giggles. I actually believe this. I like cheering for the underdog, and I always see their perspective better than I see from the front because I've just never been a front runner. I've just never been a fan. I don't know that I've ever had my teams be that good, okay? And I've been fans of great teams. It's just it's not something I'm used to or comfortable with. And I'm sure that's a personality defect. It has nothing to do with my fandom, by the way. I mean, I grew up a Patriots fan, and everyone's like, "Oh, the last 20 years were amazing." But the 20 years before that were awful. And so it's just kind of one of those weird things. I'm married into the Cleveland Browns situation, and Jesus Christ, that was horrible my entire life up until, I don't know, about 5 minutes ago. And so I'm used to seeing the world through the eyes of losers. So I'm always going to have that perspective. I think Florida's a pretty good team. I think Dan Mullen's is a hell of a football coach. That being said, let's roll through some of the rest of these games. I got a little note up here.